8.
What's your involvement?
Sir?
You stay here, both of you. You're not free to leave.
Oh, really? What am I detained for?
Because I have a man with a bullet hole in his back, and as I pulled up, you both...
Steve! I don't have to answer your questions any more than that.
Sir?
I'll put you on the 6 o'clock news, and that'll be the end of that. So am I still detained? And
Yes,
what am I
you're
detained
still
for then? Okay. I'm done answering questions with you. I'm done answering questions with you.
Actually, you ran across the road in front of a vehicle without responding lights and sirens to a gentleman who was shot in the back. So why are you here?
We saw y'all pulling in and saw the lights and heard noises, and we pulled our cameras out. That's why we're filming.
Then you got yourself involved. Good job. Give your IDs out, please.
I'm not giving you my ID.
How you doing, sir?
What crime do you suspect me
What
of?
crime you suspect me of? 91.151 says I don't have to get ID. Come on, let's not do this, man.
You got a boss? Bring him.
Sure.
Bring him.
Just
Bring him.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
not here causing no trouble.
You ran up on a crime scene as I was...
On a public sidewalk.
Actually, he needs brakes, and I said, let's go inside now.
On a public sidewalk.
Sir.
All three of you ran across the road right there.
Sir.
And what is that? Is that a misdemeanor or a felony?
That would be a traffic violation.
That's a misdemeanor or a felony? Misdemeanor or a felony? That's right. That's right.
So after it's not a crime scene,
Why don't you go do your job
I
over
can't
there?
do my job. I'm dealing with
Yeah,
y'all.
you can. You're
I
the
don't
one
know
that
if
came
you're
over
involved.
here.
I don't know if
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're
brought
filming
yourself
this.
here. You are all detained. You're
Yep.
not free to leave. You
Good.
understand it?
Bring your boss here. I want your supervisor.
That's fine.
I want your supervisor.
Nick, you have your pad? I do. Can I see it?
came over here to
What
get brake
crime
pads
do you
and walked
suspect us
6
of?
blocks to get brake pads. We don't know nothing about a crime scene. We're cop watchers, so we pulled out our cameras. Our First Amendment right. This is First Amendment protected activity.
We're on a public
This
sidewalk.
is what we do.
I want your name and ID number.
Deputy McSorley, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. I'm currently investigating.
That's what
ID
we
number.
would do.
56706.
Walk up and there's police chopper. You understand? We're not here to just film cops. We're here to actually business.
Where's your supervisor?
What should be, as a matter of fact, if you ran up into the crime scene, with your camera out,
He didn't know it was a
that's
crime scene, man.
That's why
He didn't know it was a crime scene. He didn't know it was a crime scene. Give my partner a minute to finish talking.
No, I'd like his supervisor, and that's all, man. And he's not calling him. He's not doing anything.
We didn't know that. We didn't know that. We're just going about our normal day,
You
man.
don't care about why you're detained. You ask me why you're detained. I'm explaining to you. And
Because
I'm
if you-
responding emergency.
I'm not gonna argue.
Been shot.
Then go take care of it. You think somebody that's going to shoot somebody is going to be standing here like this? I mean, seriously? How did you get as far as you are? There you go. Yep. How's this, huh? How's
perfectly
this?
fine.
Here, how's this, huh?
Okay.
See what we can do? We can play games because this is fun. I enjoy this. This is going to be a huge lawsuit with you. You haven't had your body cam on this whole entire time? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How incompetent are you?
Beautiful.
How incompetent are you?
You are not free to leave.
You
This video opens with the most legally explosive discovery in any recent audit encounter. A deputy detaining 3 cop watchers near an active crime scene without his body camera running. You haven't had your body cam on this whole entire time. Are you kidding me? How incompetent are you? The detention itself has already been legally challenged. The deputy detained 3 people walking nearby after someone was shot, claiming their proximity to the scene made them possible witnesses or persons of interest. The cop watchers' response: they were on a public sidewalk. They heard commotion. They pulled out cameras, which is what they do. That is not a crime. What crime do you suspect me of? 901.151 says I don't have to give ID. Then the body camera discovery. The deputy who has been detaining citizens, demanding ID, and threatening arrest has been doing all of it without his body camera running. The time right now is 1:36 p.m. You got 15 minutes, bro. So now this is going to be on the news. The 15-minute clock is running. The body camera is off. The detention has no legal basis. And 4 encounters follow that demonstrate the same pattern across 2 countries and 3 states.
haven't had that body cam on. You got 15 minutes then.
Yeah.
That's what you got. You got 15 minutes. The time right now is 1:36 p.m. You got 15 minutes, bro. So now this is going to be on the news. What happened over here? Because this will be on the news tonight.
Well, what's funny is we actually came here to go look at brakes. We see this. This is what we do for a living, so we pull out our phones. It's our First Amendment right to do so. And also what we do for a living is we don't give ID. if we didn't commit a crime. Because 901.151 states I don't have to give my ID unless I'm the commission of a crime. Now let's see if this officer has sense in her head.
Hopefully.
What is your name?
Hello, ma'am. Supervisor?
All right, thank you.
Supervisor? Yes, no, just deputy?
Now,
I believe my partner's briefing the supervisor.
Perfect.
you a sergeant or somebody we can speak with?
I just explained that to your buddy over here.
I know that. I'm fine.
I understand that.
We good? We're good?
Can we leave?
You can apologize now is what you can do. So we're free to go? We're no longer detained? He detained us.
I'm undetaining you right now.
Are you?
You're
Understand me? On what grounds did you detain us?
You're possible.
What crime?
involvement
What
with this
crime?
The crime of the man getting shot in the back.
I'd like to file a complaint on this guy right now is what I'd like to do, man. Because I never came over there. Of course, you know, people do this all the time. Yeah, I'm cool with you. You're good. You're good. I see the point. I'm with it.
Are they your friends?
We were all just walking down the street, man, and they came flying in, so we all picked our cameras up.
All three.
I'm not answering that, but I mean, let's just have a discussion about what your officer did. Okay.
Your friends with them.
I'd rather have it, you know, I mean, complaints don't come like that, so complaints come individually.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean? He's being cool so far. He's being good. But this guy right here and this guy, they needed to be over there taking care of that job.
That doesn't help nothing, man.
Hey, maybe
He needs an education.
It's my free speech.
Dude, if anything,
Listen to me. Kick rocks for a living. That's what I say. Kick rocks. And they go. Kick rocks. Kick rocks.
Okay, can I? Sure. How do we make a complaint here? That's why I tried to talk to you for a minute here. How do I make a complaint here on him? Because he shouldn't have detained us. I explained to him what we were doing.
Explain to you why he detained you.
Because we ran across the street and he said he was responding to a call. That's what he explained to us.
He did. So
Yes.
he's responding to a call of something that's in progress.
Correct.
And people come running up and he's trying to figure out what's going on.
Correct, with our phones like this. And we answered.
Hear me out.
We answered him. I'm with you completely to figure out when we answered him, and he stood his ground. And it wasn't until I made him call you to deal with it until he backed down and backed off of that.
anyway,
and he should have known better. I mean,
So y'all are getting a lawsuit for false detainment, and what's his name?
I guess we'll see that. Thank you, sir.
Boss, what's his
Hey,
name back
be
up?
safe. You were professional. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This segment closes the Florida crime scene encounter with the supervisor confirmation that should have happened the moment the first deputy made contact, and extracts the most important legal admission in this encounter. Suspicious activity is not criminal activity. The deputy agrees. It's suspicious activity. The cop watcher names the legal consequence, but that's not criminal. Thank you. Call the sergeant. Then the accountability documentation. Florida 901.151 states, I don't have to give my ID unless I'm in the commission of a crime. Now let's see if this officer has some sense. The second deputy is more reasonable. She confirms the supervisor is being contacted. She acknowledges the situation. Then the supervisor arrives and delivers the confirmation the encounter has been building toward. You're free to go. The cop watchers name what just happened. He detained us. He explained it to him. And it wasn't until I made him call you to deal with it until he backed down. And he should have known better. The closing line names the legal consequence that follows. Y'all are getting a lawsuit for false detainment. What's his name? You'll see that. And the supervisor's professional departure receives the only acknowledgement it deserves. Thank you, sir. Hey, be safe. You were professional. I appreciate it.
This situation comes down to one key question. Did the police have a lawful basis to detain? A group of auditors was filming from a public sidewalk, but they were detained after approaching the scene and being considered involved. However, the officer could not clearly articulate reasonable suspicion to require identification under Florida Statute 901.151. In the end, once a supervisor arrived, the situation was resolved without any charges being filed. The right to film in public remains protected, but the legal boundary lies in reasonable suspicion, not mere assumption. Which side do you agree with? Comment 5 if you support citizens' right.
Not too much. You tell me.
Wait back there.
I'll wait where I want.
What's that?
I said I'll wait where I want.
Okay, we're on a traffic stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not listening to you. 10
I'm not
feet behind
listening
me.
to you anything.
Back up a little bit, and you could video.
When
all
I
you want.
when I interfere with your traffic investigation,
You're 5 feet
I
away
will
from my patrol vehicle. Back up, and you can video all you want.
kick rocks.
Dan, I'm
Excuse
telling
me.
you right now. Right now, you're interfering.
I'm on a
with
public
the traffic
sidewalk.
stop. You're
I ain't interfering with
the
jack.
Back
I ain't
up, and you
interfering
can
with
video
jack
all
shit.
you want.
I'm gonna back up nothing.
Dan, this is your last warning. Back up 10 feet
I don't
behind
need
my
a.
patrol car.
I don't need a
You're
warning. There is
interfering
no
with a
law. You're not
traffic stop.
enforcing any law. I'm filming.
You could film 10
I'm
feet
on a
back
public
there.
sidewalk, pal.
You're 10 feet away from my
I'm on a
car.
public-
Back up over
I
there.
don't
You
care
can
how many
video all
feet
you
away
want.
from your car.
Dan, is your last warning.
Said that last already.
Back up
You
10
already
feet.
said last
You can
warning.
video all you want. You are not standing right behind my patrol car on a traffic stop. Back up over there.
I'm gonna stay on this public sidewalk.
All right, over here. Let's go. You
Don't
want
touch me.
Here.
Do not touch me.
This
Do
is
not
your
touch
last
my.
warning.
Already
3
told me.
feet behind
I
my
don't
patrol
care
car.
how
Back
close
up
I am.
and
You are
can
not
video
enforcing
all
the law.
you
You're
want.
enforcing your feelings. Get away from me.
You're not interfering.
I'm
with
not
the
interfering with
traffic
nothing. I'm
stop.
filming
Well,
what's
we're dealing
going
with
on.
You because you're walking up on it.
No.
Go over there and you
You
can
know
video
what's
all
going
you
on.
want.
I'll film from where I want. You're making a viral video is what you're doing. All I'm
Viral
doing is
video?
filming what you guys are
We're on
doing.
a traffic stop
Go
and you
ahead.
walk right up on
Do
it.
your traffic stops. I walk up on traffic stop all the
Back up
time.
10 feet. You're not standing right behind my patrol car.
I'm gonna stand where I
Back up.
want, and I'm not gonna interfere. That's what I'm gonna do.
Whose property is this? Is this your property?
Is this your public sidewalk? What a I do.
car.
I
Yeah.
don't care.
You could video
You
all
know
you
what
want.
I do
You're
for a
trying to
living.
push
I've never
buttons.
interfered
I
with
know
anybody.
exactly what you're doing
Good.
for a living.
Go get back to your traffic
back
stop.
up 10 feet.
Get back to work.
Back up
Get
10
back to
feet
work.
and you can video all
I'm
you
gonna
want.
stand where I want. If I want to stand next to that four-wheeler, I will. All right, but I'm not going
Right
to because
now,
I'm going to give you some
You are
respect. But I'm not giving.
interfering.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
I asked you politely from the get-go.
I asked you
came up
politely
here
to
and
respect
started-
my
You
rights.
can deal with that. I'll
Do you know what the Right to Record Act is and the Right to Monitor Act?
You're
You're about to
correct.
violate.
You
You
can.
almost grabbed my camera. Now
You
get
can.
away
You
from me.
can
I'm
stand
not.
back there. You
I'm
are
not trying to talk
standing
to you.
in the middle of our traffic stop. Back up over there. It's going to be your last warning.
With my last warning. I
Okay,
don't care what you
put
said.
your phone down.
Go ahead.
Put your phone down.
Go
right
ahead.
Now. Put your phone
No,
down right now.
I'm
Put
filming
your
this
phone down
traffic
right now.
stop.
Back up
I'm
behind
not.
it. You're not doing it
not-
from the middle of
I'm
our
doing it
traffic
right here
stop.
on this public sidewalk, sir.
This is our traffic
Your-
stop. Back
Your
up
Honor.
10. You are in the middle, standing next to our.
Your Honor, I'm standing on a public sidewalk. I'm far away from this traffic stop. This guy's got his ego
You're
problem.
10 feet
I'm
from my
filming a
patrol
traffic
car,
stop like I've done a million times before. Backing up nothing.
Back up 10 feet.
Do your traffic
That's
stop.
all you got to do.
I'm not interfering with nothing.
Why are we standing here then if you're not interfering with this?
Because you got an ego problem is what
An
it
ego
is.
problem. You pull
It's
up
an
your
ego
cars
problem.
over there and you walk up into the middle of a traffic
I
stop.
pull up enough
You
so
can
you
video
can get a
all you want.
flatbed in
Go
here.
ahead and
I give
stand
you
back
enough room
over
for
there.
that. I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay.
That's
Stand
it.
Right there. Tell you what, you pass this sign, I'm putting handcuffs on.
Shut-
Right outside
shut
our
up.
traffic stop.
Shut up. I'll stand where I want on this public sidewalk. You hear me?
Let's see. You just go behind my car.
I'm gonna stay away from your traffic stop. I'm staying away from your traffic stop. I told you before, I'm not gonna interfere. You have no rules. Right? You're enforcing no law. I'm not gonna interfere with your traffic stop. Do your thing. I got the right to film this, and I'm going to. I've told you guys. I'm gonna stand where I want. I'm on a public sidewalk. Do your job.
This is the most physically tense encounter in this entire video, because the officer's escalation sequence is documented step by step on the camera he keeps trying to make disappear. Back up and you can video all you want. The auditor, I'll wait where I want. Then the last warning, issued 3 times. The auditor, my last warning. I don't care what you said. Then the hand on the camera. You almost grabbed my camera. Then the physical approach. Do not touch me, and do not touch my camera. Then the confrontation that puts the officer's entire legal basis on record. You are not enforcing a law. You're enforcing your feelings. Get away from me. The officer's position, 10 feet from a traffic stop, is interfering. The auditor's position, there is no law that creates a mandatory distance for observers on a public sidewalk. Do you know what the Right to Record Act is, and the Right to Monitor Act? You're about to violate. The encounter ends without arrest because the officer cannot cite the law that would make the arrest lawful. Pass this sign, and I'm putting handcuffs on. The auditor does not cross the sign, and the officer returns to his traffic stop having accomplished nothing except creating footage that will be reviewed alongside whatever he says in his report.
In Erie County, a man filming from a public sidewalk was repeatedly told to step back and threatened with arrest, not for any clearly defined action, but for allegedly interfering. The encounter ended without any arrest, leaving an open question about the limits of a citizen's right to record in public. So, what is this really? Law enforcement or situational control based on an officer's discretion?
Hey, who are you?
What's that?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm Optimal System, a contractor.
Yeah? I'm the guy recording OptiLinks.
Okay. Who are you?
I can't tell you that.
Okay. I'm gonna call the cops then.
Oh, Jesus, wow, okay.
Who are you?
I can't give you that.
Identify yourself.
Why would I do that?
Because you're filming me.
So that means I have to identify myself? That's strange, dude.
Why?
Go ahead and call the police if you have to, but I ain't giving you no ID or nothing. Who are you? Why would I have to ID myself to you? That's an odd thing to say, man. You got a ride along today, do you? Or?
Mr. Ryan, how you doing?
How
Yeah. What are we doing?
I'm recording an officer trying to dox me in front of people.
No, I'm asking what you're doing.
Why would you? You're not allowed to do that as per your policy. You understand, right?
Or there's a bunch of guys here trying to do their work. They're trying to do their job.
I'm trying to do mine too.
What's your job?
None of your business.
Well, it is
now
my
go
business,
away.
actually.
No, it isn't.
Okay, so
Why are you coming out here trying to tell everybody who I am? You're not allowed to do that as per your policy.
well, I'm actually entering an investigation now because
An
you're
investigation
instructing
of
them
what?
To do their job.
Oh, I'm instructing them. Am I?
Yes, you are.
How?
Because they can't do their job.
Why?
Because you're sitting here filming them.
Oh, really?
What is the purpose of you?
So you're
filming
the
them?
feelings police. Get your supervisor out here if that's the way it's going to be.
Absolutely not, man.
No, I'm not moving.
Okay, you're not gonna move.
Nope.
Why
Oh,
not?
I'm going to get out of these cables.
Can you?
But I'm
Can
not
you
gonna
back
stop
up? 'Cause
recording.
It's a safety issue for you.
Oh, no, I'm not.
You're not gonna back up.
Oh, well, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
It's a safety issue for you, too.
Is it?
Yes. What? So you're saying that you're immune to the safety issue of these cables? They're not electrified. They're fiber optic cables.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
We'll have a conversation.
What's your name and
later.
badge number?
I'm gonna tell you.
What's your name and badge number?
I will give it to you.
Yeah?
I have no issue giving it to you, but we're gonna wait a minute here.
We're gonna wait a minute, are we? What's your name and badge number? Are you a walk along? Ride along? I don't think you're a ride along because they don't give ride alongs. They don't give ride alongs
on this
name
corner
tags.
down to the next sentence.
Okay.
And he's interfering with us, he's talking to us, he's in our way, he's egging us on.
Okay.
Oh yeah?
Looking,
Yeah?
Call me Buttercup.
So
not egging me
who
on.
talked to who first?
I asked who you were and why you were
No,
filming
he did.
me.
No, he did.
He doesn't want to show it. Like, if he approached us differently,
I didn't approach.
but it's been confrontational.
You did approach.
Come this way. Right there.
Filming us.
Come on.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm dealing with. He's
go
giving
on,
you the
Richard.
finger.
I'd rather talk to the men.
How are we going to deal with that?
Get your supervisor out here, sir. Oh, you're another ride along, are you?
Great. I'm gonna tell you right
Get
now.
your supervisor out here.
If you don't leave, you're gonna be arrested
For what?
for mischief.
For mischief?
Yes.
So-
you're obstructing their ability to
I
do their
did-
job.
With the camera.
Yes.
Exercising my
By
rights.
interfering
So
their
this,
ability to do their job.
what I am, I'm media. I'm working on a story about these guys and the work that they're doing and the fact that they're blocking the sidewalk. I have every right to do this. This is guaranteed, protected right under Charter of Rights, Section 2B. You need your supervisor out here before you do something dumb.
Okay, so if you want to film, you have to be in a distance that's not interfering.
I was
with
on
their
top of
job,
that hill.
which
Not,
is where they're working.
no, they're not. They're working right up here.
Okay. So are you saying
Get your
anything to
supervisor.
them? Are you engaging with them?
No,
Are
they
you
engaged with
impeding their
me.
ability to do their job.
I was the one that got approached. And then they stopped
okay, what
working.
did they do to approach you?
Stopped working and approached me. Do you
Say
not
what?
understand what approach
Let's
means?
see the video then.
I'm not showing you anything.
Why not?
Because I don't want to. Get your supervisor out here. You're gonna this one right up. What's your badge number?
Can you not just have them 5 feet away? Do you want them dropping?
I was 5 feet away. I was on top of the hill. I'm here right now talking to you guys. Once you guys leave, I'm not working under. I'm not going to stand under these guys.
Okay.
I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. I don't want.
I
them to
don't
drop
care
it
what
on
you're
me.
worried about. What's your name and badge number? Why are you covering your name and badge number?
Where?
You're covering it with those pens. What is it?
Where do you want me to put my pens?
On the other side.
With my handcuff keys?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
You see Maestre, 4158.
Maestre?
Yeah.
See, you need to have that uncovered. Under the Police Services Act, you have to have it prominently displayed. That is not prominent.
Prominently displayed.
No, it isn't. It's hidden behind two pens, dude.
What can't you see?
The letters.
Where are you going to stand when they put the...
Wherever I
lines up?
feel like it.
Okay, are you
I'm
gonna
not going to be underneath them.
Okay, you're not going to be in their way?
I wasn't underneath them.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to make sure of that.
I wasn't anywhere near them while they were working.
Okay.
They stopped working and came to me. My camera cannot be a way to stop these guys from working.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Fair enough.
I want a supervisor out here too. I would call one right away because she's all up.
I'll consult with him.
I would get a supervisor out here.
Well, if he's busy on something else, I can't.
He won't be. He will come out.
Okay.
You guys are threatening to arrest the guy.
What?
If she does it again, that's already a lawsuit. You know that. Yeah, it is.
So
What, you guys think you could just run around threatening to arrest people?
No.
Are you as dumb as her?
I said if you interfere.
I'm not interfering.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah?
Plain and simple. If someone does interfere with them, they can be arrested.
Nobody interfered with them.
Exactly. That's why we're here.
So how the...
That's why no one's...
What would you
under
consider
arrest.
interfering? Filming?
No.
Yeah, well then, I'm not interfering.
No. I never said you did.
And I was nowhere near them.
I never said you did.
Did you see them all standing on the ground talking to
When are
me?
you guys going back on?
Are you heading out?
No, I'm staying.
You're staying.
I want your supervisor.
Why
You said
do
you
you
would
want
call
my
a supervisor. Because of that threat you made. You're not allowed to do that.
What's the threat that I made?
I'm going... See, look, this lady can walk through here. It's okay, you're good. You're gonna try and get me to move when they're blocking the public sidewalk and this is the only way through? I'm not moving. You threatened to arrest me. I want your supervisor out here. You're gonna answer.
This encounter opens with the most unusual authority dispute in this entire video. Not a police officer, but a construction worker demanding the journalist identify himself and calling police when he refuses. Who are you? The journalist. I can't tell you that. The worker threatens to call police. Go ahead and call the police if you have to, but I ain't giving you no ID or nothing. Then Officer Maestro arrives with pens covering her badge number. The journalist names the policy violation immediately. Under the Police Services Act, you have to have it prominently displayed. That is not prominently displayed. 2 pens, covering the badge, in front of a camera. The mischief threat. The officer threatens arrest for mischief if the journalist does not leave. The journalist's response names the constitutional protection. I'm media. I'm working on a story. I have every right to do this. This is guaranteed protected right under Charter of Rights Section 2B. You need your supervisor out here before you do something dumb. Then the most direct character assessment in this video. So, you're the feelings police. Get your supervisor out here if that's the way it's going to be. Nobody is interfering with the work. The workers stopped working and came to the journalist. The camera did not cause that. The officers did.
To this.
Okay, man.
Get your supervisor out here.
You fucking call the shots right now.
I am calling the shots. Women shouldn't be cops either. You shouldn't be a cop. You guys are way emotional for it.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Logan, how's it going?
You remember me?
I do.
Other things, man.
Good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Staying busy?
Very busy.
No more
Donut shops?
On me, or is that you?
That was me. That was me.
No, who did it? It wasn't me.
No, it was not you.
Things are good, though?
No, things are great, man. Here, I'm just gonna zoom out so we can catch each other.
For sure.
So, hey, I'm just filming.
What's going on today? What I'm hearing is not like you.
I'm filming, and these guys all got off their platforms, come and approached me over on the corner.
Okay.
Demanded I identify myself. I said no. And so I stood there with this guy and another guy. We talked for a while. The bigger guy here went and called the police.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't go back to work. And so I stood here waiting. I'm like, now I gotta wait for the police. I told that fellow what I was doing.
My understanding, it's all for your safety. They're dropping lines down. If you're if you're too close, there's a risk, and they have a job to keep. They obviously can't be doing anything risky. Are you okay with moving further back in the way?
When I first started recording, I was on that manhole cover. Oh. And then I was over there. Okay. No, if they block the sidewalk, I'll happily move away. Yeah. But they can't block the sidewalk. This is the only access. We just had a lady walk right through here. So there's nothing they can do. And they were still working up there. Yeah. I have video.
Oh, yeah.
But when I first came through here, there was a lady. Oh, there's somebody waiting at that bus stop.
Yeah.
There was somebody walking up here. And the guy was on his bucket lift and he was working from that, you see where that line's coming down?
Yep.
He was working right up to there and people were walking right under him.
Conversation.
I'm not moving, so tell her she's gonna arrest me. We need a sergeant out here because that's gonna be a huge problem.
I'm not here to speak on her behalf. I'm just touching base and see how you're doing. And if I could help in any way, man.
Talk to her. Tell her I'm not in their way. Okay. I'm not under their lines. The public sidewalk's open. I'm not
and
gonna.
Have they told you the satisfactory distance? The workers?
They're not allowed to even do that. There's people going to that public bus stop right there. Yeah. They can't just block the sidewalk. If they did put signage up and got a permit from the city.
What about your safety?
Oh, I know my safety. I work on construction, man. You know me.
Yeah?
I stay the hell out of it.
I don't know you do anything else
Really?
than this.
I'm a sheet metal worker for 30 years. So, like I said, I'm going to continue utilizing the public sidewalk the way anybody else does. They have not approached anybody else to say, hey, you can't use the sidewalk, and they would need a specialized permit from the city of Oshawa to block this sidewalk.
You know more about construction than I do by the sounds of it.
I do.
Permits and stuff.
So they can try and tell me I need to be away, but no. If somebody else is walking under there, and I've got lots of footage of people walking right along the edge of the line, it's not dangerous. They'll be saying it just to try and exert some control over me.
He's back.
I want to hear what's being said.
Just sharing that, I thought you were always found the police stations and focused on us, not construction.
Durham region, most of them have learned really well, but people still need to learn. Everyday people. You notice police aren't everybody. Police make up a very small amount of the actual population.
Just remember, one of the first things I said to you is we're talking about your safety. They had concerns, but their work.
No, that's not, their concern is not safety. It was because I was recording. I have it all here. Nothing was said about safety, and you guys just watched a group of children walk through here.
Oh, they went around it.
Yeah, I was up there too, and I was at the corner. When I was here was when I was talking to you. I showed up when you did. I wasn't just standing there in front of their truck, keeping them from working. I'm not an idiot.
Okay, so where are you planning on standing for the rest of the
I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to be here documenting. I'm not answering any more of your questions.
Do you not understand the issue that we have with that, though, if you're impeding their ability to do their job?
A camera can't impede their ability to work.
If you're standing off to the side, it is what it is.
I'm going to be on and around the public sidewalk. I'm probably going to end up standing in shade so I can document coolly. But until the sidewalk is closed, I can walk anywhere I feel free to walk. They would need a special permit to close the sidewalk. I was telling Mr. Logan here. They need a special permit to shut down a sidewalk, which is why they don't have it shut down. This is OptiLinks. They don't do things above board very well. You know, they got the whole sidewalk blocked, but they're not supposed to. If it was blocked properly, that bus stop would even be out of use, and they would have pylons in the lane. They're working right above vehicles, and you think they have a problem with my safety? I'm a little worried if they drop something on a car, right? I'm perfectly fine. I'm safe. I'm not going to be in their way. I don't want to get hurt. But I'm not going to be bullied out of here. There is no chance you're going to threaten me enough to make me move.
Okay, but there's a difference from you being like directly in front of their stuff, which is what we were told, versus what you're saying, which is like being off to the side.
Yeah?
That's what I'm saying.
And you were told that?
Yes.
So are they willing to put that in a police report? Because then I can.
That's what I asked.
Well, that's filing a. Let me finish. Filing a false police report isn't an indictable offense. So I would want you to warn them about that. I never went in front of their truck.
How can we resolve this?
Go away.
Okay, are you going to stand off to the side so you're not in their way to do their job?
I was never in their way.
Okay, but
not once.
For the rest of the day, are you not going to be in their way?
I'm not going to be here for the rest of the day. Okay. I don't like being... They're not that interesting of fellows. You guys are the more interesting ones.
Okay.
But no, I'm not moving. I'm not going to be in their way.
Okay, that's all
I know how to work.
That's all I'm trying to
I've been in construction for 30 years.
On that note, Richard,
take it easy.
Stay cool.
Okay. You too.
Take care, guys.
We're just going to hang out for a minute.
How long have you been on the force? I would take care of that pen issue.
Pardon me?
I would take care of the pen issue.
The pen issue? I got nowhere else to put pens.
Yeah, you do.
Where?
You really do. Do you know most of your... Not you guys. I don't deal with Oshawa very often, but a lot of them had to change. It was brought up. It was made public on one of my videos. 100,000 people will see my concern about your name tag. I spelt it wrong. Do you know that?
Who was that with? The video.
I'm one of his bosses. One of Logan's bosses from 18 Division. He's 18 Division, isn't he?
Logan?
Yeah.
No, he's mental health unit.
Is he now?
Yeah.
Oh, then he changed. He was responding to burglaries a year ago. That's all right. I like that guy.
Yeah, he just deals with our mental health.
No, there are a lot of sergeants do that, and they're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. Read it used to be the Police Services Act, and then they named it the Community Policing Act, I think, when they brought LICA in last year. Yep. April of last year, they renamed the Police Services Act. Yep. Make sure you look into that, because your name and badge number are supposed to be properly displayed so people can read them or take pictures of them without approaching you. And I did spell it wrong. So that
I
alone,
spelled it right for you.
I know, but that alone is enough for a complaint against you that will stick. So you don't want that on your record. I'm not going to complain this time, but if I see you again with that, I'll have to file a complaint about it. And that's it. That's all, my man.
Alrighty.
The Canadian construction encounter resolves through the arrival of Officer Logan, someone the journalist already knows, and closes with the most specific accountability warning in this entire video. Logan confirms what the journalist has been saying. The public sidewalk is accessible. The workers do not have a permit to close it, and a person standing off to the side is not interfering with the work. They would need a special permit from the city of Oshawa to close this sidewalk. Then the construction expertise that makes the safety argument collapse. I've been in construction for 30 years. I'm a sheet metal worker. They're not that dangerous. Nobody walked under anything. They just said that to try and exert some control over me. The closing conversation with the supervisor is the most legally instructive moment in this segment. 100,000 people will see my concern about your name tag. Under the Police Services Act, your name and badge number are supposed to be properly displayed so people can read them without approaching you. I'm not going to complain this time, but if I see you again with that, I'll have to file a complaint about it, and that will stay on your record, so you don't want that. The pen issue. Named. Documented. Given as a warning. The supervisor listens. The journalist departs.
Are you going to head back down that hill there and shave? It is hot out.
It's hotter than hell.
I've been outside for too long.
I'm probably going to be gone pretty soon.
In the video, officers repeatedly reference the possibility of arresting a citizen who was filming on a public sidewalk under the claim of interference, while also requesting identification despite no clear indication of a crime. The contradiction lies in this. While the citizen's identity was being demanded, the officer's badge number was partially obscured by personal items, raising questions about transparency and accountability. In the end, the situation de-escalated without any charges or arrest, leaving a familiar takeaway. The right to film in public remains intact, while the boundaries of what constitutes interference remain unclear in practice.
Do you need a badge number?
It's Officer Klein, badge number 57.
Okay. And what seems to be the issue right now?
Pennsylvania still, okay. And I'm trying to figure out if that's happening or not.
I got you. No, it's not happening.
Okay. So I'm asking you for your identification.
I'm not going to identify unless you can reasonably articulate a crime that I have committed.
Well, I'm investigating a crime. How can I investigate a crime if I can't determine who I'm talking to? Like,
what is my name going to tell you about your investigation? What is that going to help you with your investigation?
Well, it's going to find out if you have any warrants or not. Like,
okay, so how's that going to help with your investigation right now?
Well, I have to figure out if you're wanted, why you're here.
It violates my Fourth Amendment.
It's not violating your Fourth
Yes, it is. Is this a traffic stop?
Well, not right now, does it?
Okay,
No.
so right now you approached me without any lawful reason. Okay,
no,
a lawful.
I'm supposed to do my job.
I got you, but once I say I don't answer questions, you're supposed to stop asking questions.
Oh, that's how it's supposed to work?
Yes. Am I being detained?
Right now, yes, you are.
For the crime of?
I told you, I'm investigating
okay.
for smoking marijuana.
Okay, so I'd like you to read me my Miranda rights then.
We don't have to do that.
Oh no, I want you to.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions without my lawyer present.
You're
okay?
not under arrest.
I don't answer questions without my lawyer present. Okay.
Okay. So that's all we're doing right now?
That's all we're doing.
Okay. You can have a seat in your car. Just give me a second. Or you can just stand.
Okay. Running my license plate unlawfully, a violation of my Fourth Amendment. And no crime has been committed. He can't articulate a crime that has been committed. Yet, he's over here running my plate, trying to use public records information without any lawful reason to get the information of this vehicle. How's it going, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good, I'm Corporal Harbin, Marshal Police. What's going on today?
What's your badge number?
32 or 71.
Okay. Nothing.
What brings you to this neighborhood?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
No.
You have ID on you?
I don't answer questions.
Okay.
So I'm being detained right now, right? So that's what he told me. I'm being detained.
So we got a call.
Yes or no? Yes or no question. It's not, oh, we got to call this, oh, this, that, and third. None of that. Either I'm being detained or I'm not.
Yeah, you're being detained. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Suspicion of smoking marijuana in your car.
And where's your reasonable articulable suspicion?
Got a tip on it? So
Anybody can call. Anybody can call.
That's right. So we have a
So what's your
duty to
single
investigate.
articulable fact that is holding me detained here? You know, your max time to detain me without reasonable articulable suspicion is 15 minutes. Every minute after that, my time is worth $10,000 a minute that I'm held here illegally. Because you're violating my Fourth Amendment right now.
Okay. All right. Sit tight.
So I am being detained.
The key issue in
And this is how this video ends, with a Pennsylvania citizen sitting in his car being detained on a marijuana tip, running the most complete legal counter-argument in this compilation, while two officers circle his vehicle without probable cause. Officer Klein, badge 57, approaches based on a tip that someone smokes marijuana in their car every day. The citizen's response to the ID demand: I'm not going to identify unless you can reasonably articulate a crime that I have committed. Klein says he needs the name to run warrants. The citizen names the constitutional problem. How is my name going to help your investigation? That violates my Fourth Amendment. Klein is running the license plate while the conversation continues. Running my license plate unlawfully. A violation of my Fourth Amendment. No crime has been committed. Corporal Harbin, badge 32 or 71 arrives. The citizen states the binary. Either I'm being detained or I'm not. Harbin confirms detention. Suspicion of smoking marijuana on a tip. The citizen names the legal limit. Your maximum time to detain me without reasonable articulable suspicion is 15 minutes. Every minute after that, my time is worth $10,000 a minute that I'm held here illegally. No marijuana, no crime, no arrest. For encounters, 2 countries, 3 states, 0 valid detentions, and the same constitutional knowledge applied in every one.